One of my favorite ways to begin our homeschool preschool time every week is by reading a new story out of our beginner's Bible. Reading the Bible doesn't need to stop at simply reading a story. There are so many different activities you can incorporate into Bible lessons for preschoolers that'll help your children learn the stories and build comprehension as you go through each one. So today I am sharing 12 very simple activities that you can rotate through over the coming weeks to help your children learn how to study their Bibles. Hey there, Mama. I'm Lauren Brainerd, and this is Teach Your Littles at Home. I'm so excited you have tuned in as I share fun and hands-on activities you can use right away to help you play and learn with your little ones. So let's dive right into today's episode so you can make more memories than you ever dreamed of. Every Monday morning, we get out our favorite family Bible, which is the Beginner's Bible, which I've linked in the show notes for you. I love this Bible because the stories are usually, I think it's 6 to 8 pages long. They're colorful, they're pretty short, and so they hold the attention of a preschooler really well. I love to start with reading our Bible on Monday specifically with a specific story that I can then build on over the course of the coming week. We, of course, read Bible stories at bedtime in our home as well, but that is just in addition to these very structured activities that I'm sharing today that we do during our homeschool preschool time. After reading our Monday morning story, I always like to give my kids a visual that they can color that we hang on the wall as a reminder of what we're learning about this week. So I'll often do a Bible character coloring page that goes with a character from the story, or we might do a simple craft that could be hung on the wall. When we finish this, I introduce a weekly Bible verse for my kids to start learning over the course of the week. Now, you might be thinking, my child is only 2 or only 3, they're not ready for that. But I will tell you that if you choose a very simple verse, your child is capable of learning and can repeat it after you and just get used to the practice of memorizing a Bible verse. Once my kids reached kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, we of course introduce a deeper understanding of Bible verses, but at this age, it's more for exposure, repetition, and beginning to learn how to memorize a verse. Now, over the next 4 days, I love to do 1 or 2 activities each day that will reinforce the story that we read on Monday. One thing I love is a storytelling sensory bin. So what you do is take an empty bin, fill it with your favorite sensory bin filler, and then add in some character pieces. So for example, when we learned about the story of Jonah, I filled a bin with blue rice, and then I added in characters and pictures from the story that my kids could just move around in the rice as they had this sensory experience, and they could also retell the story that we read. This also works really well with creating Bible puppets, so I love using popsicle sticks, and my kids will color the characters, will paste them onto the sticks, and then they can actually put on a puppet show using their popsicle sticks. If you are the kind of person who likes to cut out pieces of felt, you could also use a felt board and cut out characters out of felt, put them together, and reenact the story that way. In addition to a puppet show, you can also have your kids put on an actual play. They can create a stuffed animal audience, use blankets to create a backdrop, and then assign lines to different people in the home to say as you reenact the story that you read. Now, if you are going to be a part of the play that your kids are putting on, I encourage you to get excited. Your kids will sense this, and so the more excited that you are, the more excited they will be to put on this play and learn their lines and reenact the story they read from the Bible. And let me tell you, if your child is able to reenact the story that they read, this will help them to remember the story forever because they're acting it out, they're saying it verbally, they're engaging so many different parts of their brain as they're sharing the story with others. We also love to play dress up so that we can get a better idea of some of the types of outfits that someone may have worn in Bible times. So what you can do is use blankets or fabric strips. You can also use table runners, whatever you might have on hand. Wrap it around your kids and use a rope tie or ribbon so that they can experience how someone may have dressed in Bible times. And they can also use these outfits when they're putting on their plays. If you're looking for a more quiet activity that can be done at a table, we love to create scenes out of Play-Doh. So sometimes I'll put the Bible on the table and let them look at a picture from our beginner's Bible, or other times I'll have them do this completely from memory, but they'll take Play-Doh and actually build the scene on the table, and then they'll tell me what part of the story that they created. We also love to do the same thing using chalk in the backyard, where they'll draw out the Bible scene using chalk. You can also do this using what's called process art, where you gather different materials, use them to stamp the paper. You can include paint, glue. They can take things from nature and glue it on the paper. They could use things from nature and turn them into stamps with liquid paint. Whatever they need to do to create a scene on a piece of paper that shows something they learned from the Bible story. Another really fun activity that we've done is creating a Bible story playtime using items you already have around the home. So when we learned about the story of Joshua and the battle at Jericho, we actually used blocks to build the wall of Jericho. Then you can use other small figurines you have from other playsets and just pretend that they're the Bible characters that marched around the wall. You can do this 7 times, and then they get to knock over the wall and make the wall fall down. We also love to include music and sing songs as we're doing it that helps them remember the story. You can also use other items such as Legos. You could use it to build, for example, the Garden of Eden. They can create little trees. They can use colored blocks as flowers. They can create animals. All the different days of creation can be created using Legos. We also love to watch videos to reinforce some of the stories that I've found on different streaming services. I hope you're feeling inspired to take on the next week and include some Bible activities throughout your homeschool preschool week. Start small, 1 or 2 activities at a time, and just see how it goes. Find the types of activities your kids enjoy and make it fun to learn the Bible. Now, if you want to grab some really quick and easy printables that you can pair with the Bible stories you're reading, then make sure to check out my Old Testament Bible Lessons bundle in the show notes. I've already created 10 different studies that you can pick up and use right away. There are cut and paste Bible stories, crafts, Bible verses, lots of different activities throughout the different lessons that you can use to teach your children the Bible right from home. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Teach Your Littles at Home. I hope you are feeling so inspired to create a new activity to do right away with your little ones.
If you like listening to my mommy, will you please leave her a review?
Before you head off to plan the next activity, would you mind leaving me a quick review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you are listening from? This is the only way for me to know if you're finding my tips, activities, and advice helpful, and I get so excited reading each and every review. I hope this episode has left you feeling empowered to try something new with your kids this week. And if so, would you please hit the share button and share this episode with another one of your mama friends who also wants to create activities with her little ones. I can't wait to share even more fun activities with you on our next episode. Have a wonderful rest of your day playing and making memories with your little ones.